You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, let's talk about the Baltimore Ravens. They got a huge game tonight, by the way. Need to win that game. Snoop Huntley versus Malik Willis. Somebody was putting it out there earlier. Oh, my God. Do you think the networks are freaking out because they don't have Jordan Love and they don't have Lamar Jackson? So you don't have one guy that, I mean, look, I'm skeptical on Jordan Love. I'm keeping it real. I am. I'm waiting to see something, some other step. I thought we saw it after the playoff game against Dallas. In Dallas, where they just crushed them. But ever since then, it's been a lot of, And then when Malik Willis comes in, it's like, this guy's a starter. I said it the last week. That guy's a starter in the league. I think I saw somebody earlier go, is Malik Willis a top 20 quarterback right now? I want to see more. Can I get more data? I got to be honest. I want more data. And you got Lamar Jackson, who's not playing. He's tapped out with a back bruise, a contusion, a question mark. Nobody knows exactly what the hell's going on. And then you got the entire Ravens fandom that's literally at war over each other over, we want Lamar to stay, fire John Harbaugh, and others that are like, can we trade Lamar out of town and keep John Harbaugh? I can tell you right now, there ain't a chance in hell I'm getting rid of John Harbaugh for Lamar Jackson. You got to be smoking 9 kinds of the Jimmy Crack corn, and I don't care. I mean, honestly, seriously, what are you doing? God. But he's like Tomlin. Is he? Because there's a lot more 11 and 12 win seasons in there than the 9 and 8s that Steelers fans have been watching all these years. Throw in the fact that now there's some fire around, like you're starting to see some things around Lamar trade. You're starting to see some things. Brian Flores, after his performance against the Lions the other day, Brian Flores is leaping back into the conversation of head coach. Here's the problem for Brian Flores. It's simple. If he was not suing the National Football League right now and not suing the New York Giants and not suing anybody, over the absurd allegations that the league is racist. I mean, literally generationally wealthy black men all over the league. Coaches, players, you name it, whatever. So in the league, Brian Flores probably would already be a coach again. But because he's suing the league, so you want your owner, Steve Bisciotti, to hire a guy that in 3 years, if he doesn't have a losing record, Bisciotti can fire him and get sued for being a racist. That's what you want for your owner. Is that what we're doing? You got to be shitting me. And yeah, that's the reason he hadn't gotten a job. Why would anybody hire him and even run that risk of getting sued? Y'all hate Lamar every season. He was injured this year. So what? He's one of the most elite to ever step in the NFL. Okay. I don't even know what to say about that. He's not one of the most elite to ever play the game. That's a gross overstatement. The problem is, and it will always be the problem, Lamar's record in the postseason is straight trash, homie. It just ain't, he's not got it done. And unless you get it done in the postseason, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear. Look, this is a big year for Josh Allen, too. Josh got a clear path. He better go win that sumbitch. He better. are one of my favorite players. I love Josh Allen. But oh shit. I'm going to start getting real critical of his ass too if he don't pull one out this year. You know? How about this? NFLmocks.com, NFLmockdraft.com. Actually, it's NFLmocks.com, but it's a site that handles a lot of mock draftery. And they proposed this trade. They got Raiders taking Fernando Mendoza, number 2. They got the Giants staying and taking Arvell Reese, linebacker, Ohio State. Look, Reese is good. You're going to draft a linebacker, number 1 overall? What is this, 1981? It's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. All right. So, you see that. Number 4, Baltimore Ravens, Dante Moore, quarterback, Oregon, who we still don't know if he's coming out or not. Ravens trade Lamar Jackson to the Jets for a draft overhaul featuring number 4 overall and the 2026 second and a 2027 first round pick. That's interesting. The Ravens get a haul from the Jets centered around landing Oregon quarterback Dante Moore to replace Lamar Jackson. I wanted to put this in this video because I want to see the comments from the Jets side, the Ravens side, the whole 9. 2 fan bases. 3, 2, 1, go. I mean, what would you do this, Ravens fans? And oddly, this is like Shadur. There's a lot of like Lamar fans that aren't Ravens fans that I'm not going to go into why I think that is. Look, everything's made racial now. Freaking sucks. It's unbelievable. You know, but I don't know what to tell you. I think I'm fully in on Brian Flores in Baltimore. All right. Some of this is surfacing because of this. The Vikings need to work on re-signing their defensive coordinator. And the thought process here, and I did not realize this till Florio brought it up. This is Brian Flores' last season under this contract with the Vikings. He's a free agent. He's about to be free and clear. They said in Major League, Charlie Sheen, did he say free and queer? No, free and clear. Devoid of restrictions. He can go anywhere he wants. And the thought process here is that, sure, he could get a head coaching job, but a new coach, for example, I just did a video, put a video out. Kevin Stefanski to the Raiders. Okay. I mean, let's just say it happens. Well, Tom Brady is very familiar with Brian Flores because major Patriot ties there. Tom Brady could say, look, Kevin, we'll give you the job if you can get Brian Flores to come with you as DC. Now, Raiders fans, they'd sign up for that every day of the week. But my question would be, do Ravens fans want to run John Harbaugh out for Brian Flores? All right? Because, this got 140-something thousand views on it. Don't we give up draft picks if we hire him? I don't think so. This guy said, hell no. He's not an offensive guy, wasn't a very good head coach. He was a decent head coach. He literally has tarnished his reputation, no way. Big fan of Flores, always one of the very last people I think Biscotti would have interest in. Get the right DC. Y'all better not try to fire him, lawsuit. See, that's my point. If you bring him in, and it doesn't go well, your organization going to get hit with a lawsuit. Now, I mean, I'm just putting it out there. I wouldn't want to bleep with it if it was my organization. I just wouldn't. If this lawsuit never existed again, I think he's already a head coach. I think somebody would have already hired him. I think if he was not suing the Giants in the National Football League and any teams in the league, I think the Giants might hire him this go around. Because look, a lot of heads got turned the other night when they dominated the F out of the Lions on national TV on Christmas. It was like, whoa, Flores still got it. He still got it. Now, here's the problem. Is he one of these great coordinator guys? We talked about those guys before. Norv Turner, Josh McDaniel, Steve Spagnuolo. He's a great coordinator. Head coach, no. Now, Flores, honestly, the most success out of that bunch. And one could argue, well, what about Wade Phillips? Okay, I mean, that's fair because Wade had his attempt with, was it Buffalo way back in the day? And it went, nah. But then he went to the Cowboys, and Wade Phillips won a lot of games. But that's the Ravens' problem, not a lot of postseason success. Well, Wade didn't have any postseason success either, really. Of course, that's a theme in Dallas, but it's a theme in Baltimore right now. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like an upgrade. If you ask me, if you blindfold him, whatever. If you just said, hey, is it an upgrade to get rid of John Harbaugh and hire Brian Flores? I'd be like, no, that's not an upgrade. You got to be shitting me, right? Now, if you ask me, well, we fired Brian Callahan. Is it an upgrade to hire Brian Flores? Yeah, probably. I'm talking about Tennessee. But I'm not firing. I mean, John Harbaugh gets fired. He immediately becomes the top candidate, and he's hired at record speed, probably by the New York Giants. Now that they can't get Tomlin, I mean, John Harbaugh, boom, poof, he would jump ahead of everybody and get hired instantly. Tell me what you think. Which one do you want to run out of town? Lamar or John Harbaugh? Do you want Brian Flores? Wow. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.